This is my 1985 Volkswagen Vanagon Westfalia, and I have 60 days to completely build it before driving down to Mexico. Yes, I know I live full-time in my van here, but for this coming winter, I'm gonna be living at my girlfriend's house while I rip out the motor, change the timing belt, replace a couple seals, and then eventually tackle the interior of this van. A couple months ago, you saw me install and build out the high top. I didn't completely finish it, but I made some great progress. And after I get my engine issues sorted out once and for all, I'll be completing the finishing touches on the high top install, along with doing a couple other projects to the interior of the van. The plan right now is to rip out the Westfalia interior and build something that better suits me. I've been living with this interior for quite some time now, so I kind of think I know what I want and don't want. But before we do any of that, there is a ticking noise coming from my engine. I'm going to diagnose my old injection pump to see if I can't get that working, because if you remember sometime last year, I put gas in my diesel engine and it completely fried the injection pump. I swapped it out. That injection pump does not work anymore. So I'm gonna diagnose, see what's wrong with it over the next couple days here. Once that's done, I'm gonna take a deeper dive and see what exactly is wrong with this TDI motor. The Volkswagen 1.9 liter turbo diesel engine from the early 2000s. That's the engine I'm running in my Volkswagen Vanagon. It's the beautiful ALH TDI. And as for the fuel pump, well, that's the heart of the fuel system. It's called a VE rotary injection pump. It's made by Bosch. Unfortunately, today I have to set my engine to top dead center so I could remove my current injection pump. Because yeah, last summer I accidentally ran my engine on gasoline. And since I did that, the 11mm injection pump that I was running before, well, I can't get fuel to run through it. So the purpose of me reinstalling that injection pump, the 11mm one, is to diagnose what's wrong with it. What this component does is precisely measure and pressurize diesel fuel, then send it to each injector at the exact right moment in the engine cycle. Inside there's a cam plate and plungers that build up thousands of psi of pressure. Now the ALH TDI came with a 10mm Bosch injection pump from the factory, but there's also the 11mm version found on the automatic TDI. This one that I've been running is a 10mm, so I'm going to swap over the fuel shutoff solenoid to the 11mm and reinstall the 11mm back into the engine. The main difference between these two pumps is the plunger size inside the pump head. That tiny increase from 10 to 11mm actually pushes more fuel per stroke. The 11mm pump can deliver about 15 to 20% more fuel, which means more potential power and torque, especially when paired with the bigger injectors or a tune, which I both have. I just got everything buttoned up, everything but the fuel lines that go into the injectors. I need to bleed those and hopefully fuel comes out, because before I was running this 11mm injection pump and there's no fuel going through it and coming out. So that's kind of the goal here, is to see if this thing actually works. This is not what you want to see inside of your injection pump. Okay, I spent way too much time running all my tests with this 11mm pump. Then I ended up pulling it apart and found those shavings inside of it. So I'm reinstalling the 10mm pump, and that's what I'll use for the foreseeable future. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the 11mm pump running again. I don't know what I'll do with that in the future. But now that I do have it running, I could focus on stuff like the timing belt and all the seals that are inside of the engine and on the outside, because it does leak a lot and sometimes it doesn't run the best. I want to change the intercooler setup and a few other things down the line. And I think the best course of action would be to pull the engine completely out so I could have it right here, easy to work on, and I won't be able to miss anything. So over the next few days and weeks, that's gonna be my project. I'm gonna be trying to do this in 60 days because in January, we're driving down to Mexico. So I hope you guys enjoy this series and follow along, and you could ask me any questions that you want. I'll be happy to answer them. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this here van build. And you're gonna wanna see what I do to the interior come next month. I'll see you guys in a few days.